Y'all ready?
Yeah, like 12 minutes ago.
We live.
We live and direct.
Yeah. It's the DanYo&Tita podcast, episode 30.
Oh, wow.
We back.
We back.
We made it to 30, y'all.
Over the hills, they call it.
We adults now.
Yeah.
Over the hill is 40.
Oh.
Nah.
We're not,
Wait,
not
Tita,
there yet.
you
No,
because you know we
no.
got birthdays coming up in like in 2 weeks with Tita and Aisha. But
I don't
Tita
age- I don't
is
age no more,
officially
so whatever.
over your 30 next.
I don't age no more, so
Is that
FYI,
right? How old are you?
25.
You a damn lie. You a damn lie.
She said I stopped at 25.
I stopped at 25.
Is that right?
Me too, man.
Well, good luck with that when you see. Now, I was gonna say something. I ain't gonna say.
Don't say nothing.
Let me not get in
I
trouble
stopped
today.
at 30.
I'm Daniel.
He's like, I'm good, 30.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Tita.
Aisha.
I'm Dip.
Man, and we definitely, before we start the show, we want to shout out our sponsors because they support the DanYo&Tita podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to waywardkid.com, the home of news and entertainment.
Wayward Kid.
You know what I'm saying? They fired. They got
Man.
the Wayward Kid Foundation for kids.
Man.
They also got the editing program right now.
Man.
Like their Facebook page, Wayward Kid. Follow them on Instagram, Wayward Kid Online. That website's fire, man.
Yeah.
I think I go there every day just to see what's
All
going
your
on.
news information, great stories on local Phoenix heroes and artists. Great website.
Definitely. Yeah, too. So check out waywardkid.com, like the Facebook page. Follow them on Instagram, Wayward Kid Online. Thank you for sponsoring the DanYo&Tita podcast.
Appreciate you.
We also have a new sponsor, Silly Main TV.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? We got a new one, y'all. Hit them horns. Get your flex on. Man, shout out to Silly Main TV. It's an online comedy network created by comedian Chris Mosley. It features comedy skits, original web series, stand-up material from up-and-coming comedians, even even episodes from the Childish Comedy Show.
Wow.
Yeah, they got going on down in Phoenix right now.
Wow.
I hear that
go
show's
like-
good.
Y'all, it's a good, it's a dope show. It's a
Yeah,
dope
man.
show.
Go check it out.
Go like the Facebook page, Silly Main TV on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Silly man. Yeah,
Silly
man.
Main.
Definitely.
And also, give a shout out to Joanne Muhammad.
Thanks, Miss
She
Muhammad.
donates to the DanYo&Tita podcast, our top donator,
Yeah.
and also a
Definitely.
sponsor of the DanYo&Tita podcast.
Definitely, man.
Man,
Can't
we got
do
a
it
great
without
show
none of it.
tonight.
We do.
Oh, let's say tonight.
Well,
This morning.
You-
This morning.
I've been working a lot. I've been working a lot. We
I
got a
see.
dope show though. We got a legend in the building.
yes, we do.
We have a man that cares about the community.
Definitely does, man.
Indeed.
Uses this platform to impact.
Definitely.
And that's what this show's about.
Definitely.
This show that we have here, this podcast is about the community and making it a better community for us.
Definitely.
So we have the legendary ATLLAS in the building, y'all. Give
What's
us
up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Legends in the building. Wow.
That's nice.
Yo, that's Paris, France.
Oh,
man.
really?
Man, wow.
Oh, give it up again for all
Man,
that.
he's a traveling man. Always on the move.
And what was wild is we did this little boat cruise.
Yeah.
And they had that wall, like all
Wow.
graffitied up, said the only little homie. I'm like, man, that feels like home.
right.
And take a picture over there. So we got
Yeah.
off the boat, went over there.
Man.
Yeah, man.
How was it there? How did you like Paris?
You know, Paris was cool, man. I'll say that the people there were like rude.
Yeah.
They weren't
yeah.
really like the most welcoming.
Right.
Because you go some places and they're super open to tourists.
Right.
Right. Like the people there just really treated you like you ain't from here. We don't care.
Right.
Right.
We ain't asked you to come here. You gonna wait in line. Like literally, we'd be in line and they'd just take a lunch break. Like
Wow.
we ate dinner at the Eiffel Tower.
Right.
And you got to buy tickets, and the line is crazy long, and then people didn't give. Can I cuss on here?
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
Man, they didn't give a shit how
Wow.
long you was waiting in line. They
Wow.
would take their smoke break, come back, you know, give me your money and leave. You
Wow.
know,
The French
yeah.
are notorious for being rude, though. So I guess that,
You know, and I've
That's
heard
definitely-
and I've heard that rumor.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But until you experience it, it was definitely different. It was a cool city, man. We took my daughter.
right.
So she for her 13th birthday, she didn't even know that she was going.
Right.
So we
On
told
13th
her,
birthday?
yeah, we told her
Wow.
that she was
That's awesome,
going
man. That's dope,
to we told her she was going to Disneyland.
Wow.
And so we get to the airport and she's, you know, we're walking through the terminals and she sees, you know, the names on it. She's like, how come we're not going to the California terminal? And so we surprised her right in the terminal. Like,
Yeah.
you going to Paris. You
Whoa,
know?
That's
man.
dope.
That's big.
It was good, man. Exciting. I want to make sure I start by saying thank y'all for allowing me to
for
come
sure.
here and hang with y'all this morning.
Man, we're honored to have you, man.
Well, a thing that my wife and I do is every year we theme our year.
Mhm.
You know, so we set the intention for the year with
Right.
that theme. And this year is for us is the year of thanks and showing gratitude.
Wow.
And
Wow.
what that means is, you know, when you're invited into a space, when you get a new supporter, you get a partner, you get a new investor,
Right.
somebody that's just willing to listen to what you're talking about.
Right.
Say thanks, you know,
Man.
show gratitude, show
Definitely.
appreciation, man. So I honor this space and I'm excited to
This
be
is-
here with y'all, you
Man.
know.
This is one of the ways, like, us showing that we appreciate you, boss, man. 'Cause you make a huge impact.
I
Definitely.
appreciate
Actually,
that.
we talked earlier this week, and I told you I've been following you for many years.
I
Yes, man.
appreciate that,
Definitely.
man.
I appreciate you.
And it's wild because I haven't, you know, I haven't been active in the scene out
Right,
here
right.
for. I mean, I was thinking about it when I was coming in here, like a decade, man.
Wow.
Like it's
Yeah.
been like 10 years
Wow.
where I ain't picked up a pen.
Wow.
I haven't done anything, and it's really been 100% focused on
Right.
working in the community.
Right. Right.
You know, and really trying to have an impact. Because the thing that I practice, and I started this 10 years ago, is called singular focus.
Mhm.
And what that means is you focus intensely on one thing until you accomplish that
Man.
thing. And then because I believe our passions make
Mhm.
room for everything else that we want to
Definitely,
do.
man.
You know, but
Yep.
you have to have that thing that when you walk into the room, this is who you are.
Yep.
This is what you're known
Yep,
for.
definitely.
You know, and I took my experiences doing music and trying and running my own label and putting stuff out
Right.
into the stuff I'm doing now.
Right. Right.
Because what I used to do is really spread myself too thin. You
Mhm.
know, like I was trying to be the artist, I was trying to be the CEO, I
Right.
was trying to be my own concert promoter because I've
yeah.
always been into empowerment. You know, I've always been into ownership. I've
Mhm.
always been into let me bet on myself.
Right.
Right.
But you can't, you know, you have to narrow your focus sometimes
Mhm.
and allow people to help
Yeah.
and have that singular focus thing, man. So
You're a manager too, right?
yeah, for a
Wow.
little while,
Yeah.
man,
Yes,
and so I was literally all over the place, and I
Right,
had
right.
to learn, and you go through things like they say when you lose it all, you become a philosopher.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
when I really started trying to transition and pivot on really what was my true north and
Right.
what really meant something to me, what did I really want out of life? What did
Right.
I want to stand for? What did
Right.
I want to contribute?
Right.
It was a tough experience, but it was also very enlightening, man, because it helps you channel your energy
Right.
better, and
Yeah.
and because often we think because we confuse activity with productivity,
Right.
because we're doing a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, we think we're hustling and we're doing stuff, but you're
Definitely.
actually not. You're just running in circles.
Right.
You're just exerting a whole bunch of energy,
Mhm.
you know.
Right.
So do more, you know, do less, but do more all at the same time.
Right,
you know?
right.
So that was, it's been a journey, man. So this is kind of a reintegration, man, of me
Yeah.
trying to bend both worlds together.
Right.
So I'm just excited to be here and just chat with y'all,
Oh man, you're
man.
dope.
And so I have to ask, are y'all all couples?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I support that.
Yeah.
Working with your wives,
Right.
right?
Well,
Working with your
pretty much,
wives. Me and my wife are business partners.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We invested in a medical billing company, and you know, so I respect that, man. I'm gonna give her extra hard time for not coming this week.
Right.
I told her, I was like, why don't you come down?
Yeah, man. We'd love to
Yeah.
meet her, man. That'd have been
And
dope.
she was up working, so
Yeah.
now I'm gonna
Shout
give her
out to,
the guilt trip.
Shout out to Ragadamas last week. He's in
Mhm.
business with his wife as
Definitely,
well.
yeah,
With
man.
their company. So
Mhm.
There's no better way. You
that's
right.
who
business
better to pour into, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Than your significant other. You
That's
know,
real,
who
man.
better to build with, and it's not an easy thing, you know. Especially being when we were young men, we would hide,
Definitely.
you know, our
Yeah.
relationships,
Definitely
you know,
would, man.
especially being in hip hop.
Right.
You know,
Definitely.
Yeah.
because we're watching what these other people do, these other men do,
Right.
and we think they're our example,
Right.
right? And we were really kind of taught and engineered not to value our relationships,
Yeah.
and it's nuts. So
Sadly.
that's been a huge thing I've been excited about seeing, just about the growth of hip hop culture.
Yeah.
Is the welcoming of family,
Yes.
marriage,
Definitely.
being good men,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and honoring your commitment.
Definitely.
So yeah, man, I'm sorry, I can go on about
Faithfulness
this stuff
right
all
here.
day.
Man, that's
Yes,
all
indeed.
that
Faithfulness
great
right
knowledge,
here.
man.
What they say on the Breakfast Club, black men don't
Black men
cheat.
don't cheat.
Like,
Black men don't cheat.
let's own that.
Definitely.
Let's own that.
I wanted to just touch on you do so much. So we're gonna do this in sections. Let's touch on your music, because that's the first
Yeah.
introduction kind of towards you, just because you've been signing some dope labels too.
Yeah,
One of my favorite
man.
labels you were signed to. Did you do it with Ruckus?
Yeah. So I had kind of back to what I was saying a moment ago, really being about ownership and empowerment. Like, I did a streaming deal with Ruckus before streaming was like the thing to do.
Yeah,
and
right.
everybody was looking at me crazy. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Because it was a streaming deal.
Right.
But the deal was fantastic because you
Right.
still retain ownership.
Right.
Right.
And they essentially just licensed your music
Wow.
for a time period. Then it gave the music back to you.
Wow, that was ahead of its time.
That was ahead of its
Yeah,
time,
definitely.
you know. And now
What year
it's
was
all
that?
about streaming. That was, man. So I said it's been about a decade. So
Right.
we're in
Yeah.
2020. So this is 2009.
Wow, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
10,
Wow,
you know
that's
what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah,
so, and I put out my Arizona Caesar album
Mhm.
through them, and it was and they were really about how can they keep that independent spirit, and how can we empower the artists and help just put you on a bigger platform.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So now here we are all these years later, it's all about streaming, man.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
Yeah, people didn't believe in streaming early here.
Yeah.
No,
And
man.
it was
Yeah.
gonna work.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And I really, even from the jump, man, like coming out of high school, the first thing that I was trying to do was all the typical things that
Mhm.
black boys do, right?
Right,
Like Biggie said, either you got a wicked jump shot or you sell crack rock.
Right,
You know what I'm
definitely,
saying? And I learned early how to make money legally, how to hustle legally.
Right.
So I never really wanted to get into the dope game and any of that, even though it was prevalent
Man.
in my neighborhood. Grew up on
Smart
the west side, Maryville.
Right.
And I remember one of my best friends, man, like he was selling. And
Right.
I was working at Wendy's at the time.
Oh, really?
And I just remember these dudes, and we called them tweakers. They came in because they knew he was selling.
Right.
And so so he had to go into the bathroom so nobody could see what he was doing. And I
Right.
went in there with him. And I just remember seeing how thirsty this guy looked for this substance, right?
Right,
Like how this guy looked like he was willing to do anything for what my
Mhm.
man was selling.
Right.
And it turned my stomach, man. And so I never had the heart
Man.
for that game.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I never had the heart to sell. I had never had the heart to use like that.
Right.
It was, you know, it was never just my thing. And so I was always into legal, legit hustles. You know,
Right.
so
That's
when
cool.
my hoop dreams died, and I realized I wasn't going to be Michael Jordan,
Right.
I had to channel that energy into something else. And so
Right.
the next logical thing for people that come from my neighborhood,
music.
like I grew up in the West Side, Maryville,
Mhm.
you know, was in these streets. And
Right.
it was music, you
Right.
know, and I was passionate about it, and it was an outlet. And so I did the typical try to get out here and shop my demo.
Mhm.
Man, but I never really was one for trying to put my value in somebody else's hands.
Right.
So we did the run. Like we went everywhere, sat in every label. We giving out the demos.
Yeah.
And having my life and my success in somebody else's hand just never was for me, man. So we went independent, and the rest was history. We were selling it out the trunk, all through the Southwest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that
and
that led us to MTV came looking for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then that led to features in XXL and all those type of things. And so I was taught early on that you can invest in yourself. It's important to invest in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, it will create everything else that you're trying to do, you know, but it can be scary. It can be scary as hell to invest in yourself. You know, y'all are an example of investing in yourself.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And this platform will grow. What you guys are doing is grow. You just can't switch the hustle.
Right.
You know, because when the money doesn't come fast, we tend to switch hustles because we want the fast money. You got to dig in, man, to this thing that you believe in and don't detour from it. And you will get to where you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So, so we went independent. I put out King of AZ. This early 2000s now. And really what that album was about, because at that time I didn't feel like this city really took pride in itself. I didn't feel like at that time everybody was from someplace else. Everybody was, I'm from Cali, I'm from New York, I'm from, but I didn't see anybody taking pride in being from Arizona. And I'm like, it's not where you from, it's where you at. And we here, and we need to build this. We need to build this scene. And so I put that out, man, and it was like a lightning rod. You know, like there was a point that literally I feel like every artist in this city was focused on me. Like there was a point, there was a moment. I had a moment, man, where this whole city was focused on what I was doing. And I never was really affected by the diss tracks and stuff like that, because it was never really about me being the dopest MC, even though I knew I was nice with my pen. You know, like I knew I was nice with my pen. You know what I'm saying? And I respected the competitiveness of it, because that's really what it was about. It was like, good, show that you got some damn heart, show that you believe in yourself and in this city. So I was never offended or I never felt compelled to try to respond and get in the mud like that. Because it was always about just making a statement that where we're at, we got to be proud. I'm gonna be proud.
I noticed, you know, I've been following you for a while, and in that era, in that time, there was a lot of cats in the scene that was bouncing back and forth with each other. You were never part of that. You were never part of that drama or anything. You do it about your business. And what and the way and really being about my business, what I looked at is that the more you sitting here dissing me, that's just promotion. Like you literally are just driving more traffic to what I'm doing. So why you're feeding into my marketing plan. You know what I'm saying? And the more that you're focusing on me, the further ahead I am. You know what I'm saying? So now I just have to keep pioneering, keep pushing the needle, keep moving us forward. Because as long as you worried about my move, you're forever chasing. You know what I'm saying? And being a competitor, that's what you want. I want you chasing me. You know what I'm saying? So it never was worth it, man. But I've always been about the advancement of our city, the advancement of our culture. Even the stuff I'm doing now, it's really about how can hip hop grow up? How can it evolve? How can it move in different ways? Hip hop is one of the most powerful voices in the world. And really what I want to see us do is stop diminishing, stop downplaying, stop ignoring our greatness. We influence culture, we influence the world, but we allow stuff like Oscars and Grammys to dictate how to validate us. You know what I'm saying? And none of that validates us. And I want to see us stop doing that. And so it's really also about how do we empower we give them too much power
ourselves. We give them too much power. We give our power away.
About it. Why are you giving them that?
The thing I hate the most, man, is us sitting here begging to be treated right. Like human nature is all about self-preservation. It's all about how can I get more? How can I preserve my lifestyle, my way of life? And you can't just expect people to give up of their quality of life to make your life better.
Right.
It's fantastic when we can have true altruism and people that do want to invest and do stuff for the community. But I think there's too much begging to be treated right.
Right.
Yeah.
And where I think our energy really has to be put into is dismantling the systems that reinforce mistreatment.
Right.
So what I mean by that is I don't have a problem with racism because I don't think we're all going to get along. And I think people are going to hate each other for whatever reason.
Definitely.
Like you got people of the same culture that don't like each other.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? And we act like we're all, I don't believe in a world where we just all kumbaya and get along.
It's not going to happen.
The problem for me, though, is when you can use your dislike for me to prevent me from opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
When you can use your dislike for me to prevent me from being able to buy a house in this neighborhood or to get a loan or to have a good education.
Right.
So for me, the problem is truly about discrimination
Right.
and being able to use your platform to prevent opportunity from people. So we have to dismantle the systems that reinforce discrimination.
Right.
So like a lot of the work that you see going on right now with the justice system, right? And prison reform. I think, and prison reform, you know what I'm saying? And because that is a system that has unjustly affected Black and brown people for centuries, right? And so where my focus always goes to is how can we make
if I put this up real quick,
the justice system more just? How can we take it away from people being able to sentence you harsher because of the color of your skin or the neighborhood you come from? You know what I'm saying? Because again, I can't stand in front of this judge or whoever and expect them to love me, like me. You're coming from your own background, whatever the case may be, but I don't want you to have the power to ruin my life. You know, and I don't want you to have the power to sentence me unfairly. You know, so it's about dismantling those systems, and that's really what $1 Million Teacher Project is about. Because I think how we really empower a community is through education.
Right.
And when systems are falling apart and when there's dysfunction, it's often in our neighborhoods. It's often in low-income communities with large numbers of Black and brown folks. So instead of begging to be treated fairly or begging to be treated right, what I want to do is I want to make it more attractive, competitive, compelling to drive people into that environment, you know, to teach in our communities, teach in our neighborhoods. I want to make it the destination, man. I want to make it where it's attractive. You get paid well, you're going to get treated well. The environment is going to be off the hook for you to come and teach in our communities, you know, because if we really want to have healthy communities, we have to have healthy schools. Healthy schools start with a healthy teaching profession, man. So that's really where my energy is at, man. That's where my focus is today is how do we empower our community and how do we take power back and quit begging people to treat us better.
Tell us more about the $1 Million Teacher Project.
Yeah, man. So $1 Million Teacher Project is, so I've always had a heart for community work. I've always had a heart for working with kids. Even when I was doing music, my true intention behind the music was I thought I had to become a celebrity to also be a philanthropist. I thought I had to be big and famous to affect change in the world. You know what I'm saying? So that was really one of my big motivating factors. But once I really started recognizing that there is power in the community, there is power in everyday people, and I can create other platforms that can be just as powerful, that's what led me to start redirecting my energy. And I want to create opportunity. I want us to be more economically mobile. I want us to be more empowered to invest in each other and cut out the middleman. And again, that takes me back to education. So 3 years ago, I launched $1 Million Teacher Project after working in and around the community for at least 15 years, you know, in different capacities. You know, I worked with youth offenders. I worked with after school recreation programs. I worked with dropout prevention. And the key thing that I saw in all of that was how the education system was failing.
Mhm.
You know, when a kid goes into a classroom and they're greeted by a teacher or they're greeted by an environment of low expectations,
Right.
where they don't believe that you're going to be anything. And kids aren't stupid, man. Like they know, they can feel that energy.
Definitely.
If you don't believe in them. You know what I'm saying? And so what often happens is we live up to our expectations.
Definitely do.
You know, and we have examples. Everybody in this room is an example of doing it in spite of.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's from parents or grandmother, different family members that help pour into us, so we make it in spite of. But when we go into a school, man, you should be first greeted by a teacher that's passionate about what they're doing.
Right.
A teacher should be a student's first example of success.
Right.
Somebody that's doing something that they love, getting paid well, so it's more aspirational.
Mhm.
You shouldn't be greeted by somebody who probably shouldn't be there, don't care, stressing about bills, because they feed that energy into our students. You know,
Definitely.
That's true.
and so I'm an education reformer at heart. I think it all starts with schools.
Mhm.
Just my vehicle in order to reform schools starts with the teacher.
Right.
You know, so $1 Million Teacher Project partners with schools to increase how their teachers are recognized, drive more support directly into their classrooms, and create innovative ways to impact their how the teachers are compensated.
Man.
So that's what our work revolves around. And right now we're largely Maricopa County. We want to be statewide within the next 2 years, national within the next 5 years, international within the next 10 years. You know,
that is, man.
And this is a hip hop brand for me, man. For me, this is another extension of of the power of hip hop and what we can do in the community. So that's $1 Million Teacher Project.
We appreciate that.
Man, that is huge, man.
I have a question. You came from the hip hop scene.
Yeah.
And now you're fully affected into the community and all teachers, the school systems, and all that. How you feel about the lack of the hip hop community out here not really involved in that type of a situation?
I think it's and so when I came in here, I was giving you kudos because the first question I asked is like, do you do music? You putting out music? And you was kind of like, not really, you know, like I got some projects I'm working on, but this is your way of participating in the culture. And I think that's important for us to recognize. Like there's other ways for us to participate in this culture. We all don't have to be on a microphone, man. We all don't have to be in front of the camera. And so what I'm hoping to be able to do is be that example, that living example, because, you know, I fully intend on seeing my vision come to fruition and living. You know, I'm all about speaking with intention. But being an example for other brothers out here that are in this scene and in this culture, that there's other ways that we can move the culture forward. You know, you don't just have to be on the mic. There's other ways we can participate in this, and we need to, because we have diverse talent. You know, we have diverse ways, other expressions. Because I'm still very much a creative. I just don't have the motivation to write. I just don't have the motivation anymore to pick up a pen and write. Now, how I create, it's through $1 Million Teacher Project, you know? And so I think just in general, starting in Phoenix and then on a national scale, it's important for us to recognize this is a homegrown culture that we created, that we own. It's influential, it has power, and it's time we start using it. And it's time we start using it in other ways than just entertaining people, giving you a song for you to dance to. You know, I think Jay-Z said when they were doing the NFL deal, he was like, "Man, we ain't tap dancing for you no more. Like that's like this ain't a tap dance, man. This is actualization of power. This is actualization of us understanding our influence in the myriad of ways that we can use it, man. So so I know there are some cats out here doing things, but I think our scene is still trying to find itself. You know, our scene is still to a degree trying to trying to get on.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Waiting for that good look.
Right.
But we already been on, man. We had the deals with Rockets. We had Willie with Ludacris.
Right,
We had
right.
Juice messing with Game.
Right.
We had there's the kid Futuristic now
Mhm.
doing his thing out
Yeah.
here. Like the scene is on.
Right.
You know, like we need to stop trying to get on and stop looking for validation again. We need to stop
looking for
waiting for somebody else to co-sign what we're doing and recognize that there's power here.
Definitely.
And now it's time for us to use it.
Right.
And I think that's what we miss about what happened in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Atlanta stopped begging for validation.
Yes.
Right.
Atlanta stopped. They got to a point where there's like, fuck your opinion.
Yeah.
Like this shit is hot.
Right.
We gonna spin our own shit.
Right.
And
right.
now it controls the
Oh,
world,
right.
right? Everybody's now trying to sound like Atlanta, where at one point we were all trying to sound like New York.
Mhm.
I want to see Phoenix do the same thing, or Phoenix can do the same
Definitely.
thing. You know, that if we want to create a sound, it one starts with our DJs taking ownership and pride in our artist here and being willing to spin that artist at 11 o'clock, which is prime real estate in a club, you
Right.
know, and once we start doing stuff like this, I think it will also help us tap into our power in other ways
But
and in the community.
With Atlanta though, the culture in Atlanta is heavy.
Mhm.
The culture in Arizona is
They had to
It's
build
not
it
as-
though.
yeah.
They had to build it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's heavy today, but there was a time and there was a point where they were
Mhm.
also still a growing scene, a
Right.
growing environment.
That's real.
And so they had to build it and to get it to where it is today. And I just think every city, every state has that
Mhm.
same capacity. There just has to be a certain level of stubbornness, bullheadedness about us.
Right.
You know, and about our shit is just as good. You know what I'm saying? And I think it will bleed into all those other areas. And I think guys like Jay-Z and the stuff that they're doing and Meek with the prison reform stuff, like
Right.
they're teaching us how to grow up, you know, and showing us how we can do more. So we're getting there. It's still
Yeah, I
young,
like-
but we're getting there.
I like this Jay-Z more than I like Megan in the day.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk.
I don't know
about
if this mic is on.
your
Oh,
mic's
it's on.
on. It's
Okay.
on. It's up.
I just
we
can't
be-
hear it in here.
Yeah, you
Okay.
might. Yeah, it's up.
All right.
I want to talk about this right here.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
This was
That's huge.
December, man. I was recognized by the East Valley NAACP
Yeah,
with
all
a
that,
Education
all
Equity
that.
Award. They did a nice ceremony out in Tempe,
Man.
and that's my wife with me.
Okay.
That's huge, man.
Yeah,
Let's go, bro.
Making moves, man.
yeah.
That's huge.
And
man.
what's big about that is when I got up there, because I got to get up there and give a speech and all that,
Mhm.
and there's a myth that Black folks don't support each other, and
Right.
that we don't invest in each other, and we
Right.
don't, and we can't work together, and that's a myth. It's not true.
Definitely.
The East Valley NAACP, the first award I've ever received in my life,
Right.
like I ain't never got a trophy for nothing,
Right.
came from a Black institution
Right.
that recognized the work that I was doing, the work that I'm trying to continue doing in the community to create equity in our education system. This is Black folks supporting each other.
Definitely. man.
Y'all could have did a million things. Y'all could have anybody on. Y'all could just talk to each other.
Right.
Y'all are interesting people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But y'all are sharing y'all platform with somebody else that you feel like is noteworthy of doing stuff
Definitely.
or is an extension of the mission that you're trying to show.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We do support each other. We
Definitely.
do work together, and we need to recognize that and stop with the negative,
Definitely.
Yeah.
adopting such negative things about
Mhm.
our culture. Sometimes we make it cool to do the most negative, to adopt the most negative things, and that's really what that award represented to me, man. It was an example that we do support each other.
Yeah.
Definitely
We
do.
do love each other. We
Mhm.
can work together. Now let's do more of it.
Definitely.
Man, that's real, man.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna let you know you might be getting hit up by more people after this show. You're dropping so many gems.
I
and,
welcome it, man. I welcome it.
whatever we can do to be part of or
Man.
help out.
Anything
Let us
we
know.
could do to
That's
help,
what
definitely.
Definitely.
that's what we about.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
needed.
So
Yeah, and it's vice versa, man. Like that's why I was asking about the sponsorship thing.
Mhm.
You know, like we have to invest in each other.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, and you guys are doing a quality thing. You know
Right.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I wanna sponsor. I wanna figure out
Um,
how I can help expand
Yes,
what
sir,
y'all
definitely.
doing. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
Hey, we
So
would definitely love that.
yeah, we got to talk that.
yeah.
We want to play. We're gonna do a little top 5 real quick for you.
Okay.
With you. You know, a little something. Oh, that didn't work out, y'all. That didn't work out. But anyway, we're gonna do a top 5
Okay.
with you real quick. Let's see what happened. Hold on, I gotta find out what happened. There you go. There you go.
We live. This is what happens when you
Yeah.
live.
Right.
Live.
There you
Exactly
go.
what
Hold
happened.
on, I gotta get my thing right. You know what I'm saying? But
Not my thing.
I want to
Pause.
do the top 5 memorable moments of the $1 Million Project.
Okay.
What you got? What's your top 5 moments?
Oh, my top 5. Okay,
Yeah.
you're asking me. All right. So definitely the East Valley NAACP Award
Okay.
Mhm.
was definitely top 5. We do a project called the $1 Million Teacher Tree, which is a supply drive because teachers spend about, $1,000 of their own money on
Their own
classroom
money.
Speaking about this
supplies
right
every year. Yes,
Sir.
the teacher tree. So we partner with ASU. We bring in interns.
We did our research over here.
Yeah, I respect. This is what I'm saying. You guys are professionals. And we put this tree display in the middle of Scottsdale Fashion Square Mall, right?
Wow.
And it's a
What's up?
giving tree concept where people can come by, pick an apple. It has a wish list for a teacher.
Mhm.
They go out and get the donation, bring it back to us, and we give
Oh,
it
that's
to
dope.
teachers.
That's dope.
So we were also a
Like
finalist.
the angel tree.
Yep.
Christmas for the
Yep,
kids,
yep.
but for teachers.
Exactly. And what we're trying to do is really create the same energy that happens around Christmas time,
Okay.
around back to school time.
Yes.
So back to school time is July to September.
Okay.
So during Christmas, you see the Christmas trees come out
Mhm.
with the Christmas angels and things
Right.
like that. What we want to do is around back to school time, we want to make it a thing for you to see the apple tree
Right.
and
Okay.
to see the apples
Right.
and when you're out shopping for your kid for back to school, you also remember teachers are spending their own hard-earned
Definitely.
money on this.
Supplies up.
Let me go get one of these apples, make a donation, and give
Definitely.
it back. You know, so we're trying to create that same energy, man,
That's huge.
and all the way down to the way Christmas time. You
Yeah.
hear music.
Mhm.
There's music associated with Christmas time. We want to make music that's a thing that we're going to roll out with that. But we were a finalist for the Mayor's Arts Awards for the teacher tree.
Okay.
Wow.
So
What's
that
up?
was big.
Who designed the teacher tree?
So we partnered with ASU students, theater majors.
Okay.
So I have one. Her name is Lucy, who really designed that thing from scratch, and it's
Wow.
paper mache,
Oh.
metal, wood, and we built that tree was 10 feet tall. You know
Wow.
what I'm saying? And as many leaves as I could buy from Michael's, and we built this tree. So she designed it for us, man. And now we're in the process of trying to figure out how to mass produce them.
Right.
You know, we're in talks with Office Max
Mhm.
to have the teacher trees and all the Office Max locations here in Arizona.
Right.
So hopefully by this summer you'll be able to go into Office Max and you'll see
Man.
the trees in
That's
there.
dope.
You know, so
That'll
that's
be dope.
so that's a big thing. So that's my number 2 big teacher tree moment. I mean, $1 Million Teacher Project moment. Man. 2 years ago. So we have a program called Feel Like $1 Million,
Mhm.
where each year we try to pick one teacher to make feel like $1 million.
Wow.
And we open it up to a vote and the community votes
Mhm.
on it. 2 years ago, when we had kind of just launched this, we partnered with Maryville High School.
Mhm.
You know, the high school that I went to, where I graduated from. It's
dope.
always special where you can pour back into your
Yeah.
community.
Right. Right.
And we allowed the teachers and the students to vote on which of their own deserve to feel like $1 million.
That's dope.
And we were able to pay off that teacher's student loans.
Wow.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And
That's
give it that
dope.
freedom, you know,
Man.
back at my high school. So that was a top 3. I think what was another great moment, man? So we've already recognized 3,000 teachers just in 3 years of operation.
Yeah.
And
That's crazy. That's dope.
and I think having my kids participate, man. Anytime my kids come out and my wife, and they come out and volunteer, and really just because I founded this in October 2016. And I started it with a social media campaign.
Wow.
Right.
The reason why I started with a social media campaign, because it was cheap. I knew I could at least bug 10 of my friends to do a teacher thank you note.
Right.
And from there an organization was born.
Wow.
You know, so that social media campaign was also a big thing because it represented me just trying to figure out how to start. You know, like, we're not always going to have it all figured out. We're not always going to have the answers. We just have to find a cheap, inexpensive way to start. And you're going to learn and you're going to evolve as you go. I think people get so bogged down and rooted in, I'm not qualified. I don't know this. I don't know that. You don't got to know it all.
Right.
Nobody knows it all when you're
That's
first
real.
starting something. And often you don't even know all you need to know until you start.
That's real.
Because there's things that you're going to encounter that you're not even going to think of.
That's real.
So the key is you just need to find a cheap, inexpensive way to just start your idea, get yourself on the path, and then it's going to grow and evolve.
Yeah.
And so my number one moment was that social media campaign, because that created the opportunity for all the other stuff that we're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I seen you on stage with your wife. I don't know. I think it was probably one of the ceremonies with iHeart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So iHeart is a huge partner of ours, man. We work a lot with
That's huge.
huge supporter, man. iHeart, Microsoft,
Wow.
like huge supporters, man, of the work that we're doing. And what they do is they allow us to use their sound stages and to do these private events for teachers.
Wow.
And so we can really create a special experience because, you know, like I said, we're trying to elevate what it means to be a teacher.
Right.
You know, especially if you teach in a low income inner city community,
Mm-hmm.
rural community.
Definitely.
If you're impacting low income underserved areas, we want to elevate that experience. So partnering with iHeart and being able to give them this private ceremony where we invite them in and we feed them good, and there's an artist in there performing, and
they love,
and giving them an experience they typically don't get, you know. So that was huge. That was major.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's do it. Let's get into it. How many did you do? You did a lot.
I think that was probably 7.
Right.
They were probably all wrapped in together.
Most definitely.
That's very
shout out to our sponsors, waywardkid.com.
Wayward Kid.
Wayward Kid Foundation. Go back to the kids, and right now they have an editing program.
All about the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
And I want to shout out Rock, man.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
Rock. Like,
Shout out Rock.
yeah, man. Like, Rock and I was supposed to do a movie together,
Wow,
you know, years ago. So I don't want to put him on blast, but I still remember that, Rock. You know, hopefully we'll get around to still doing something. But what that brother has built, man, and he's a legend in
Yes,
this.
he is,
scene.
man.
He's a pioneer who's created
is.
so much opportunity for other brothers out here, man. Like, I salute Rock for everything he's doing and that he continues to do, man.
Definitely,
and
man.
hopefully we get an opportunity to partner and collaborate on some stuff soon.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna happen, definitely.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna be in one of his movies too, man.
Look at the camera real quick.
Y'all look like leading men. I can see that. I can see that.
Right. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Silly Man TV.
Silly Man.
Online comedy network created by comedian Chris Mosley.
Chris Mosley in the
Features
house.
comedy skits, original web series, stand-up material from up-and-coming comedians, even episodes from the Childish Comedy Show. I love that show.
Man,
That goes
shit.
right down here in Phoenix, Arizona. Go like
Mhm.
Silly
We're gonna have to go catch
Man
some of those
TV.
Yeah, man. Catch him, man.
Yeah.
Go on their site, like their page.
Oh man, Facebook page, like it.
Man.
Let's get them up. And also shout out to Miss Joanne Muhammad. You know, she
Miss
definitely,
Joanne Muhammad.
supports the DanYo&Tita
Yeah,
podcast.
we appreciate you.
Definitely.
We appreciate all our sponsors and what they do.
Yeah. You ready for a game, boss man?
I'm ready, man.
All right, we're gonna
Time
see how
for
much
trivia.
you know.
Okay.
We got a little hip hop.
Is this like local trivia? Or is this like
Nah, it's not local
okay.
trivia.
Because I ain't been on the scene in a minute. I don't know if I know anything.
I might have to do that one game. Though.
We've done it a couple of times.
All right. So, in the trivia game, there's 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 3 out of the 5 correct, we'll donate $50 to your charity of choice.
Okay. $1 Million Teacher Project, of course.
Right.
Definitely.
All right. You also have 2 lifelines.
Okay.
You may call someone. You may use Google for one,
Okay.
or you may use one of the fellas
Okay.
for one of your 2 lifelines.
Okay.
Question 1. What artist said, "Let me clear my throat"?
Let me clear my throat.
It's hard.
I hope you don't mind.
Yeah. Was it the EU? Are they from DC? Can we talk geographic? Can I ask clues and hints?
I will give you a hint.
Okay.
It is a DJ.
Oh, this is gonna kill me. DJ Fat Man Scoop.
No.
It wasn't Fat Man Scoop.
That was a tough one. I didn't know. Sure, like, dang, I
The
don't
answer
know this
is
dude.
DJ Cool.
Oh.
You knew that?
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
I didn't know that.
Now that
I
you
know,
said
like,
that,
I know that song so well.
It wasn't what he said it was.
All right, I'll admit, I was listening to this song as I walked in the door the other day.
Ah.
So I had to ask him, I was like, do you know who said this?
Yeah.
He was like,
Mm.
I don't know who the fuck that dude was.
I thought these was gonna be softball.
Question 2. Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Rakim, and Truth Hurts team up together in a song called The Watcher 2. What album does that song come from?
Oh, that's easy, man.
The Blueprint too.
Yep.
How many did I gotta get right? How many?
You got to get 3 right.
3 right. Okay.
What R&B artist said, "My heart can take no more, but I keep on running back to you"?
Even
I
listen to
don't
it. I don't even listen
but
to
I keep
R&B
on
music.
running back to you. Yeah, I know this joint.
Running back.
Yeah, you know this joint. You know this joint. Come on, get it. There you go.
Ashanti.
Have to hum that one
I
out.
needed the melody. I needed the melody.
Question 4. Which one of these was never a member of Doggy Style Records?
Okay.
A, Badass. B, Superfly. C, Cocaine. Or D, Common.
Oh, that's easy.
Common.
Common. He's 3 for 3 right now.
No, you
No,
missed
it's
one.
2 for 3.
2 for 3. He missed one.
No, that's
No,
three.
he's got question 2, 3, and 4 correct.
Yep.
Right.
Oh.
I'm saying he missed one, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
3
what
for
I'm
4.
3 for 4.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Oh, so you got
He's good.
it, but you
So
got
this is bonus.
Right.
Bonus question. Question 5. Who said this? Your checks bounce while mine boogies.
Your checks bounce while mine boogies. East Coast or West Coast artist? Can I ask for
That
him?
has to be
Because I don't
that
even
has
know
to be
that.
East Coast rap.
Oh, I still have a lifeline too, right?
You still
Yeah,
have
you
2
do.
lifelines.
I don't even
Okay.
remember who it was.
I'm a Google. let me consult the Google machine. So
Your
Check.
checks bounce
your checks bounce or mine checks boogie.
while mine boogies.
Your checks bounce while mine's boogies.
You get the Google. We got the Google out.
I got the Google machine. Your checks bounce.
You got 10 seconds remaining.
Your
10,
checks bounce.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Oh,
5,
oh, it's
Oh.
not showing up.
3,
That's a hard one.
Dude.
This is Jim Johnston.
What?
No.
Jim Johnston. Fail.
The answer is Naughty by Nature.
That's probably why it's not
Hey,
found on
but
Google
you-
because it's old.
Yeah.
But you got it.
You got
You
it.
got it anyway.
You got it. Gonna make it a $50 to the $1 million teacher project.
Make sure you give us the way to make that happen and everything.
Yep. I'll send you the link.
Okay, we gonna get into some word on the street news.
The word.
What's the
You know
words
what
this
I'm
week?
saying? So word on the street news this week. We're gonna definitely remember Mr. Kobe Bryant, my
Yeah.
favorite basketball player.
The Mamba.
He,
Rest in peace,
passed
Kobe.
away. Was the last Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I think it was it was 9 victims
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
situation. So
Very
Sad.
sad. Very sad.
rest in peace.
I'm still messed up over that.
yeah, that
Yeah,
messed
yeah.
me up. So rest in peace, Kobe, and all the other victims as well.
Daughter.
His daughter.
And all other victims.
Daughter,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Man.
It's ridiculous, man.
That's sad right there.
Yeah.
But
I still get chills every time I see this or see one of their photos.
yeah, I
Or hear it on TV. Or see
It
on
doesn't.
TV.
It doesn't seem real.
It doesn't
No,
seem
it
real.
doesn't.
Like I think that'll be a moment we all remember where we was at.
We definitely
Yeah.
would.
I said that
Definitely.
last
Because
night.
I was because you know LeBron had passed his scoring title the
Right,
night before.
right.
Yeah.
So I got up in the morning. I'm looking through just my Twitter feed because I'm just reading about LeBron passing him, and then my
Mhm.
son sends me this crazy tweet saying that like Kobe was dead, and I thought he was just talking about LeBron passing the
Right,
scoring
right.
title. So I was
Right.
like, that's kind of harsh. The brother
Right.
ain't dead.
That's
like,
exactly what happened because we had that conversation. He went to go do homework, and I'm in there Disney Plus, and I was like, all right, I'm bored with this, so I go start scrolling Facebook.
yeah,
Kobe dead.
yeah.
that's crazy.
He in the back room. What'd you just say?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Kobe's dead. Like,
yeah. I was
man,
And it seems unreal.
so unreal.
It's like, come on, like not that guy.
Yeah.
like not him.
it was definitely a lot of not like yelling in my house when that happened.
I
Yeah.
just think TMZ shouldn't have broke it that way.
No,
Yeah,
They
for
should have
sure.
at least allowed the police to notify next
Wife,
of kin
for sure.
yeah, his wife Vanessa
sure.
didn't even know about
before
it.
they broke the story.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what it definitely did do is, I think it reminded us all of our mortality, though.
Definitely did, man.
and this has been the most prevalent example in my life of here today, gone tomorrow.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Like that guy literally that morning, like was checking on Shaq's son, like the night before,
Going to
sent
church.
Kobe
the
a
morning
tweet,
before
going
Wow.
going to church, like how precious life is, man. And so
Yeah.
that's why we have to honor these moments. And again, that's why I thank y'all for
Yeah.
just allowing me to come up here, and be able to share these vibes with y'all, man.
Mhm.
And because we only got one life and we got to make the most out of it, man. Because
Definitely.
once that number's called, as healthy as you trying to be, as good as you trying to eat, as holy as you trying to be,
That's real.
it don't extend your life.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? When it's your number, it's your number. So
definitely.
make the most of every moment.
Yeah, yeah. Rest in
Yeah,
peace,
man.
Kobe.
Yeah.
But also I know they've been talking about the logo. The NBA changing the logo or not? You think they should do that for Kobe?
No.
You don't think,
Nah.
you don't think they should
I-
change that? I mean, the logo's been like that for years too.
I mean, that's the thing I get into is that, if you do that, then when someone else dies, you're going to change it again. That's important. I mean, I know it's shocking that he died and you want to do things to tribute the man because he did a lot for people
Right.
and he meant a lot to people, but you unfortunately can't change things like that. They're not going to change it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
like I said, when
It
someone
would be
else
dope if they
important
do,
dies,
though.
are we going to change? Are we going to change it again
Yeah.
when someone else dies?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
That's
you don't think
important.
the logo needs to be changed at all? It's been like how many years?
Nah,
I think we
man,
gotta
it's
do
the
something else
fucking
to,
logo.
remember him, like
Reinvent.
What you think? This
They'll put
Mr.
him on the
Peanut? They
front
gonna kill the
cover.
motherfucking logo in
Peanut
there?
dead.
Yeah.
Right.
But I had put this on Twitter, man. What I think they should do, I don't think they should mess with the logo, but I think they should create an award that recognizes
definitely.
players' excellence after the game.
Definitely.
So, like when you retire
Definitely.
and you go win an Oscar,
Mhm.
right? You retire and you're doing big things away from the game.
Right.
That should be a Kobe Bryant award.
Definitely.
You know, because and that's also what just makes his death so tragic, because he was just getting started, like his
Right.
post game life, and the man won an Oscar.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
sure
Like
did,
they should have an award that players can get for their post game life for
Mhm.
excellence. I think they should honor.
Yeah.
And he definitely was a huge ambassador for the women's game also,
Definitely, yeah.
which was going to help them to be able to put them on a higher platform,
helped a
because
lot.
he was fighting.
Yep.
And his daughter also would have raised the
She was gonna raise it
definitely,
to
because
the
she was
bar
going to
for
be
real.
she was going to be a
basketball.
great basketball player. We
And we'll
already know
never
that.
get to see it.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm
crazy,
saying?
yeah.
Like, I know for a fact he was trying to put her on the path to get into the
She
WNBA.
had a jump shot just like
Right.
his.
And she was already on her way to Connecticut. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
She was already playing with them, meeting with them at 13.
early.
So she already knew where she was going to go to college.
Yep,
She
yep.
had it all mapped out at an
Yep,
early
yep.
age.
Kiss
and,
your babies,
definitely,
man.
man.
Definitely.
Kiss your babies.
The NBA announced that it will be changing the All-Star game format.
Yeah,
The first 3 quarters of the game will be like separate mini games played for
Mhm.
charity,
definitely.
with the score resetting at the start of each quarter. The fourth quarter will determine the winner of the All-Star game. This quarter will be untimed, and the 2 teams aiming for to get a certain score. The team that wins the All-Star game will be the first team that reaches 24 points
Mm.
as a tribute to Kobe Bryant, who
Yeah.
scored 24.
Mm.
Excuse me. Yeah, he won during the halftime, so they're gonna do some stuff.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
they're gonna put him on the cover 2021 too.
yeah.
The 2K.
Yeah. But I know I've give it to the media. They did a lot to contribute to helping out with people, and putting a lot of
Tribute.
tributes
Yeah.
out for Kobe, as that's the word I'm looking for. And I think they did a good job of
Yeah.
covering it. And
Yeah.
you know, except TMZ was
No.
coming out too early. But
Yeah.
talking to the right people and getting the right people on camera to listen to in this situation has been very helpful.
I've been consumed with it, man. Every day.
Right.
You
It's
know,
definitely been-
like watching different interviews
Mhm.
and different people saying things.
Exactly.
And it's going to be a year-long thing, because this is going to go all the way into the Hall of Fame
Definitely.
induction.
Mhm.
You know, so that's going to be another emotional moment,
Right.
man. So
Yeah. Another story. We had fun with this on Facebook. I posted. Police seeking a man who robbed Maryland Bank wearing blackface.
I saw this.
Look at that right there.
I saw
Look at that man.
I saw this.
Look at that man.
What was your comment over there?
Yeah.
But I'm a dude playing the dude disguised as
That's
another dude.
the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. Yeah.
That was crazy right there.
Yeah, man.
And is that considered? Is that racist? Is that? Do we consider this
I
racism,
don't know.
or what is?
I think that might hit the racist right there.
I mean, the
Tried to
thing
flag
is,
he was black. What's
Dog.
going on?
it does not matter.
Right,
Oh.
like he's committing the crime. You know, like I don't know if we care about in this instance. I don't know.
Man, you going to jail. Boy.
Well, we got this story, man. Woman shoots her boyfriend dead after he started beating her 14-year-old son. No charges will be filed.
Really?
He was beating him how?
So like a spanking, or he
With
was
a-
like
with a
beating
belt,
her?
with a rod?
That's what that was my
Beating him up.
question on
They
that.
didn't get, but I guess
They
this
didn't
guy has
specify?
they didn't specify, but I guess this guy he has a history of domestic violence.
Oh, okay,
and all
So he's
that.
probably punching him or
Yeah.
hitting him with his hands or something.
So she was protecting.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
man,
right.
son. So
Yeah.
But in those situations, you know, people know that I'm very anti-gun. But in those situations, this is when guns are necessary.
Yeah.
And you know, that's to protect the home and to protect your children. This is when they are necessary when
Yeah.
in these situations, and especially for women,
Yeah.
because they're in situations where they are usually weaker than the man, you know, and
Yep,
bigger,
yep.
and the men are usually bigger.
definitely. That was your word on the street news right there.
The word.
Sister Social's in the building.
Yeah.
Hey.
We got some photos for y'all
Oh
today.
man.
Yeah, we're gonna do some photos.
We have
Got some men in tights.
some men in tights, some men in dresses.
I want to call them images because man,
Got a man looking like a blue Tiffany lamp.
I just don't. Okay, I don't understand. Like they have all this money, and I know they want to make a statement, but they can have these gorgeous gowns or these nice customized tucks. You
Right.
know,
They dressing better than
some
you, Tita.
Armani or something. You know,
They dress
Right.
better than both of us.
Well, usually
Man.
those other designers though that's putting these outfits out though. It's usually top notch designers like that.
It really is.
Tita, are you
like-
jealous?
I'm
I
a little
am.
jealous.
Alright.
Definitely.
But it's some of the
I'll wear it. Shoot, I'll rock it.
Mhm.
but I don't know if I would wear some of the stuff to the Grammys though.
All right, let me know when y'all ready.
We ready.
You ready? Bring it
Picture
on.
one. What we got? I don't know if she was going for.
You don't like that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
She like a couch, a little, some curtains. She like some curtains.
Some
Right.
curtains.
She looked like she just took the curtains off and off the.
It's cool, but she looking good though.
Like I get you you wear your feminine outfit, you know, underneath the dress and stuff.
We judging dresses. What's
But it's
going
like-
on?
Looks like a curtain that's
And
been
it's-
pinned up.
Well, that's what the
Getting
sisters,
ready
that's
to
what the sisters do,
alteration.
man.
She's gonna use a different top, you know.
Y'all let me know when y'all want to change it.
Right. Let's go on.
We got
We got something.
Alice, you got something to say about that dress? I don't see
think-
nothing wrong
I don't
with
see
it.
nothing with it.
I think the lady say-
I've seen worse. I've
Right.
seen worse.
Let's
We
go with
seen
the
a
next
whole
one.
boobs
What we
hanging
got
out.
next?
That's nothing.
What we got next? Here we go. Popcorn Ceiling Ray.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
And he kind of blends into the whole outfit.
Right.
I mean,
That gets a shot.
I saw this nice. Thought about the popcorn ceilings.
I just
That
want to
Arizona
look
is famous
uncomfortable.
for.
Old school, man.
Yeah, it does blend with the skin.
It really does.
Maybe that's
like,
what he was going for.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what he was.
he looked like Tobias White and Black Lightning.
Next.
So you just gonna heat everybody up, babe? That's the mission.
Ooh.
See.
I mean, that's kind of like the
I
Jay
think
Z
it's not bad.
outfit that
Yeah,
Jay Z
it's just a
wore.
little
That
too-
they
it's a little
wore
too
at the
tighter.
Mona Lisa.
Right.
You
The
know?
pants are weird as fuck.
It's just, the pants don't. They don't go all the way to
The
his
pants
ankles.
and the
That's
shoes.
not bad.
The pants. I think I would have worn a different pair of shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I
I would
was
have
going
worn
to
a pair of
say?
loafers with that.
I think it's a certain type of shoe you got to wear. With
Right.
You know, if you are going to go tennis shoe, it just can't be any. It can't. I don't think a regular sneaker looks.
You should have
great
wore some
with
loafers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it should've
yeah,
been a different
definitely.
shoe.
Definitely.
All
All
right.
right, next.
All right, next.
And there's some stuff I can say something like I can on these pictures.
I think you just saying Tita.
I am.
Hey,
I would
y'all,
love to
how
look
many
for
of these
Grammys.
pictures y'all going
Man,
through?
they gave me 500,000 pictures.
We didn't have that many pictures.
Ain't nothing wrong with her.
Why?
What is that?
why-
That's
She doing a cameo?
that's
with them?
Scarlet Red.
I mean, but that's a lot to move around though. They, like,
going over.
She's got a whole umbrella with a veil, a canopy draped around it.
that's
Why
too
does she
much.
have a jock strap
It's not
on?
a costume.
Is that a
though.
jock
Yes, that's
strap?
a jock strap.
She
So
doing
she
the whole
walking around like that?
Yeah.
yeah.
She walking around like something. Ain't that something Prince
with a
would wear?
curtain.
That is a Prince outfit.
That's definitely a
I can
Prince.
see Prince. That's a Prince outfit.
And that's velvet, right?
I wouldn't go test it.
All right, what we got next?
Wow.
That's smooth.
There's
We
no
still
words
don't know
for
who this is.
I just
his name is Steve Lacy.
Steve Lacy.
That's expression right there.
I mean, we're like in the future, man. Like when I think about shows I used to watch as a kid, and it show people in
Wow.
the future.
yeah.
That's type of
He's
stuff.
a future
They
Jedi.
were wearing in the
Is that
future.
his
That's a
pockets,
Jedi.
man? I'm
looked
still
like
trying to
his
figure out it's his
pockets. I
pockets,
mean-
man. It's like his pockets are really big. I don't.
And like they was turned inside out, like they was made.
I would
that
have
way.
wished he would have
I'm
done like
lost.
one color at least. Maybe wouldn't look so bad.
Right. It's
And
two
there's a
different.
dress
It
on
is two
underneath the
different.
jacket.
Exactly. And then the shoes are like usually them plain shoes.
And dresses, man. Like I said, man. That's normal now.
Do they?
Man.
That's normal now. That's what
Yeah.
they doing, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
That does give me Little House on the Prairie. But that's what that gives me.
Hey,
What's
man.
next?
Wow.
This looks
She
like
won a lot
something
of
from
awards that night.
She
I know.
did.
It's like she from Mortal Kombat.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me, you know?
What was her name in Mortal Kombat? Serena.
Maybe
Go-
that's what she was going for.
Go spit
Mortal
some
Kombat.
acid all over you and shit.
I just feel like,
Y'all
like
mean,
it's
man.
kind
Y'all
of
mean.
like a hazmat outfit kind of a thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Maybe she knew the coronavirus.
Maybe.
Trying to be safe.
Should have drank more
Wow.
All right, y'all what?
Hey.
Next one.
It's
Are
like
these feathers?
I don't.
That's what I'm confused with.
I think it's leather at the pans,
I don't
right?
know if it's like if somebody gave her like a drape and then like cut it up and then threw some other fabric on there.
I can't really see it.
I don't know
can't
what's
really-
going
Well,
on. Man.
I'm
Let's
gonna
change
tell you,
that.
I cropped the picture and I
There's a
just took
better
the
picture
picture.
of it right here, man. Look at the picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can see like she got like some parachute pants on or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, so she mixed with Missy.
Yeah.
I cropped the photo though. Yeah, I don't think Tita put that
I
one
don't
in
think-
there.
I don't
But I
think
took
he
the
gave that
picture of her feet. And it looked like she
okay.
had camel toes on her feet.
I think it's
Oh, the shoes.
The
look like they have
shoes.
camel
Yeah,
toes?
Yeah,
the
wow.
shoes look like camel toes.
That would be
She's
interesting.
going.
Wow.
There should be more.
That's solid.
I
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I just feel like
Ain't nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
Hell boy.
pink pants.
Hell
If
boy.
we would have left the hat, and the briefcase, it would have been all right.
A bellboy.
He said he wanted to salute the bellboy.
Yeah.
You know?
Bellboy.
Bellboy's
Like-
a hard-working man.
He's
out
like,
there.
go hard or
Wow.
go home, you know?
We're gonna speed up this a little bit.
Okay.
Oh man.
Like
I don't know what they was
I
going
don't know.
for.
Next,
Wow.
Culture.
let's just leave that one.
That he's just like your Aunt Wanda.
Next,
I mean the head wrap and everything.
That's nice.
No.
it's just what do you
No.
use that for the
That's
Grammy?
nice, man.
Right, so you're saying is that Grammy?
Is the Grammy
appropriate?
appropriate?
See, that-
Man,
It's a
there's-
whole romper.
There's no such thing as
It's
Grammy
Grammy
appropriate.
appropriate.
They
Hey,
wear
man.
this
when we win a
whatever.
Grammy
whatever.
for best podcast, I'm not taking you.
All right, I'll be judging.
What is I don't know, man.
Next,
I'm not cool.
Yeah, I don't know what that.
Zorro.
it's like
Lone Ranger.
Wow.
let's just change it. There's
That's
nothing.
what they were going for.
It's just nothing.
That's
there's
that's
nothing
a
That
left.
kinda reminds
sex
me of,
slave Zorro.
Right.
Did y'all see that show that came on Watchmen? On HBO?
Oh,
yeah.
That kind of reminded me of a
Alright.
Watchmen outfit.
He was
Wow,
playing with that
man.
look then.
Wow.
Pepto Bismol.
Hey,
Shimmery
man.
Pepto Bismol.
I'm sure she could have worn such a pretty
the
outfit
tassels?
dress, but I just feel like the color.
Like her skin is beautiful.
Mhm.
Her melon.
Maybe
Yeah.
she would have a different cut of the
Oh,
dress,
this-
different style of it.
That's the last picture.
That's the last
This
picture.
is-
Good.
That's what I use
I'm
for
sure over
my
it.
shoes.
Yes.
I still can't see it though.
Huh? I don't know.
No. Well, at the front of it, it looks like camel toes.
That's crazy.
I think y'all are judgmental.
Yeah,
And
man.
there's
Me
nothing
too.
wrong with them outfits.
I just mean like you have all that money, get a nice.
That
outfit,
that's
you know?
top notch designers they get, man.
They could wear regular gowns.
Nah, man. Do you see what they wear on these runways? The outfits.
Mhm.
That's what they wearing, man. They
Runways
running.
are
They running
crazy.
these runway outfits
I
on the.
just-
That's all the Grammys is.
Are they
man.
getting paid to
It's
wear
a
this
runway.
stuff? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They usually get paid to wear
those
those things.
Man.
But they get paid by the designer to wear the
Yeah,
outfit.
most
But
definitely.
we also wanted to add, to Kobe's wife. I wouldn't even know where to start to deal
Mm.
with something like that. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
they've been together for a while
Since she
she's
was
had a baby.
18.
She
He was 22.
18.
Yeah.
Like I've been with David for 10 years, and it feels like an eternity. I can't even imagine, and having a baby. The baby is what, like
7 months.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just
It's
don't
sad.
know. As
That
a
baby's
wife,
gonna know him
a
as
partner,
well as we know. him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna make sure she knows that.
Yeah.
But
I
as
just
far
don't
as we're gonna
understand.
go into our middle of the week this week,
Okay.
Tita and I
Yes,
we partnered on this
we
this
did.
week's meal.
She
Oh,
had a
did
great
you?
idea, and I said, you know what? We could double this.
We got tacos 2 ways.
Oh, okay.
And
Double
they're
it up,
both
huh?
vegan.
We got potato tacos
Okay.
and we have bean and cheese tacos.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds excellent.
In the
Okay.
potato tacos, we got mashed potato
Mm-hmm.
with some queso fresco, some salt and pepper, a little bit of sour cream, and then we put them into our tortilla and fried them up
Yeah.
and made tacos out of them. And we did the same with our beans and cheese.
Wow. That
As
looks
you
excellent.
can see here.
So this is a potato?
Yeah.
Those
It's,
are
it's
potato
a taco.
tacos.
Yeah,
It's a
like
taco
potato.
with potatoes in it.
Oh,
right?
in it. Okay.
The filling is
okay.
the
The
potato.
filling is potatoes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Potato taco, huh?
You can have something without meat every now and
Every
then.
now and then.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
You
saying?
don't have to always have
You
meat.
don't always
Yeah.
have to have
2 weeks
meat.
in a row, no
Okay.
meat. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to have meat all the time.
Give everybody a little bit of something. And it only took 30 minutes to make this.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
simple,
Wow.
filling.
Once you boil your potatoes, it takes 15 minutes to
Yeah.
put those in the pan and fry them up. A couple minutes. And you good.
All right, man.
I was listening to this RZA interview on the Joe Rogan podcast, and RZA was talking about how his kids have always been vegan. They've grown up. They never like, wow. Could you imagine? Like not even knowing, not even having the tip because you just have never eaten meat. Where it's such a regular thing for you not to eat meat.
It's to me, man. My diet is so different than it was when I was a little kid that it's definitely believable, man.
Yeah,
it's just it's just so different with the things that we've learned and how society has changed since the 80s. Yeah. And what we've learned, what not to eat, and what our parents thought was the norms and what was healthy for them. I can imagine these kids now just having a totally different diet. You know what I mean? Like they don't eat cereals in milk. They usually eat cereals in almond milk and soy and all these different things, or just dry. They just don't eat. They don't
drink milk at all.
People don't drink milk at the rates that we used to drink it. We came up drinking whole milk and cereals.
Because they said it make your bones strong.
Right.
That's what we were told.
That's what they told us.
Completely different. We grew up in government cheese and,
It definitely did. Government peanut butter.
Right.
Some kind of meat in a can.
Go get mystery meat in a can. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and be right back, and we'll bring everybody a taste of our tacos for this.
Oh, y'all actually got the meal of the week here?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to kick me out of here now. Y'all got the food up in here.
We're gonna get into the main perspective real quick. Why they get everybody getting the food?
Yeah, let's get into a couple things this week. If my file ever open. We got a couple cases we want to talk about locally. You know what I mean? We might also get into talking about the impeachment trial a little bit. I like to talk about that. We had a double shooting there, 99th Avenue and Camelback Road this weekend. 2 people were hurt after a shooting in the West Valley. They are investigating it. It was near 99th Avenue and Camelback Road. Authorities say 2 men shot each other in the parking lot at a bar Saturday around 2:15 a.m.
Wow.
1 victim was taken to the hospital by ambulance with life-threatening injuries. 2nd victim was taken to the hospital by an unknown person, also with life-threatening injuries. So we'll get more updates on that later, as they don't know too much about the case so far.
Prayers going up for those people.
Yeah,
definitely. I think this case here is police identify a victim in a deadly shooting in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was that one.
That's right.
Yeah. The Phoenix police are investigating after a man was shot to death Wednesday night. According to Sergeant Cox, officers responded to a shooting about 9:30 p.m. near Central Avenue and Blackout Road. When they arrived, they found Aaron Aldrete Jr. with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to local hospital where he was pronounced dead. They still investigating. You have anything on it, please give them a call.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
That's wild.
Yeah. Man dies after being struck by a Good Samaritan's car. We had a lady try to help a gentleman who was having some health issues, and her haste to help the gentleman, she ended up running him over but not putting her car into park.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the man, 34-year-old Michael Phillips, died at the hospital because a 54-year-old woman's identity wasn't released. But she was trying to help out, but you know what I'm saying, she didn't put her car in park, and the car ran him over. He was already hurting.
Yeah.
It's a pretty messed up situation, man. But
yeah,
this always good. Trying to do good things don't always turn out right. You have to still be careful what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Definitely.
We have the no criminal charges for the former Tempe officer who shot and killed the 14-year-old boy.
I saw that.
Another case, I guess he had a fake gun, and so they're using that as the reason why it's okay for him to be able to shoot someone in the back that's 14-year-old running away from him. So that's their excuse that they're using, is that he had this gun, and this fake gun, toy gun, and he didn't know rather if this was real or not.
That's crazy.
So the police don't even have to know if the gun's real, as long as they have a toy gun they can shoot a kid in the back and get away with it.
One thing I want to say in regards to that, man, I learned about this last year, is that they have they have citizen police police conduct review boards,
Right.
where any of us can join this board,
Okay.
and we review incidents like that,
Okay.
right? And can have a say in what happens disciplinary wise to that officer.
Right.
I never knew that these type of things existed.
Right.
You know, like I had no idea, because we're sitting here watching all these police brutality incidents and police officers killing unarmed men, and you kind of feel helpless.
Right.
And it's like, no, we're actually not helpless. We can get on one of these discipline review boards
right.
and have a say in what happened.
Is those the
with
people
that
that make up the grand jury, that make the decisions in the end of
so
what?
Nope. So you work directly with the police department.
Okay.
And so when you go before a jury, that's when criminal charges are being brought on you. But what also happens behind the scenes is that the police department reviews these incidences.
Okay.
And there's a citizens review board. So when you hear about somebody being put on administrative leave, you hear about XYZ happening to this officer, that goes before a review board of citizens.
Right.
You know, everyday community members that are involved with making those type of decisions.
Definitely.
So what I always encourage people is to seek out a police discipline review board.
Right.
I'm sure there's one in the city of Phoenix. I know there's one in the city of Phoenix. I'm sure there's one in the city of Mesa. And you have to fill out an application. That you gotta go through a hell of a background check in order to get on one. And you still have to be invited to join the board, so it's a whole process. Because I tried to get on one, but I don't think they want somebody like me on one of them boards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but because I think they want to make sure they, you know, it's all politics, but those boards are out there. So I would just encourage your listeners. And I always make it a point to share that, because this is a part of the information we don't know.
Definitely.
You know, and this is how we empower each other. Like we don't know these things are out here, and we just feel like we're subject to other people's decisions all the time.
Right.
We can get involved. So a police discipline review board.
Okay.
Y'all heard the chairman.
Citizens can get on those.
Hey, that's important information, man.
Yeah.
Because we definitely don't take enough initiative in our own communities to make changes.
Yeah.
We're always looking at someone else to change things and being upset at other people that these changes aren't happening quick enough, when we can try to make moves ourselves to try to make these changes and using our own power. You know?
Anybody upset at that officer, you should channel that energy into looking into joining a police discipline review board. That's how you honor that young man.
Say it one more time, boss man.
Anybody that's mad at that officer or upset about that situation, we should channel that energy and honor that young man that was taken from this world prematurely, inappropriately, incorrectly, by seeking out to join a police discipline review board.
Hey, that's real shit, man. And like I said, I 100% back that statement, because I believe that we have to be the difference in our community. And if we're not standing up and voting and becoming community leaders, the community won't change.
We're the solution.
Yeah, definitely, man. We the people are the change. You know what I mean? And we always talking about the government is so corrupt. If they corrupt, you become one.
Yeah.
You take your power and what you have and the people you know, and you become one of these people. Yeah. It's like we had a gentleman on here who was talking about he wants to run. Who was that? He's on my tip of my tongue. But he said he want to run, and like I said, that's a big deal, because that's what we need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had a poker face. That's what it was.
Poker face. Yeah.
Oh, Poke talk about running for office.
He's thinking about it.
He's thinking about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now I
do it, Poker face. Do it.
I push for that because that's what we need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you know what you're doing.
So. Right. Definitely.
There are a couple good brothers that are running. Jevin Hodge is running for board of supervisors.
Okay.
And the board of supervisors makes a lot of cities in the decision.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of decisions in the city.
Right.
So, and of course, we're underrepresented in there.
Definitely.
So look up Jevin Hodge, and then there's also Corey Woods running for mayor of Tempe.
Okay.
First ever, he would be the first ever African American male
We gotta see if we can contact some
city mayor of one of our cities.
Yeah,
you
man.
know? So
we need
Corey
to take that
Woods in Tempe, Jevin Hodge running for board of supervisors. Look these folks up.
Yep.
Look these folks up.
Our mission is
Tamika Wooden is running for district attorney.
we
So
didn't hook up with you, boss man.
these are folks that, but honestly, like this past decade has really been me really trying to figure out how to wield real power, right? And not power that looks good on the camera because I got a chain on,
right?
But how to wield real power and influence in the city, you know.
So
so we have to also invest in politicians. We also got to invest in politics, you know. So put up your money behind these cats because that's how we hold them accountable. That's how other communities do it. You know what I'm saying? So
they definitely do.
We should be playing the same game.
We definitely should be.
Well, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the impeachment of Trump just a little bit. You know, we're in the last stages before they vote to remove him, which we all know they will not because of the Senate. Most Republicans hold the Senate, and they did vote on Friday to not hold any more witnesses. So there won't be any witnesses. They won't look at any more evidence in the Senate. And it's supposed to be a trial.
Right.
They won't have any witnesses or any evidence in this trial.
Crazy.
You know, what kind of trial is that?
Yeah.
So he'll be getting, they'll probably be letting him slide on this, and he will be trying to go away as soon as possible. But it won't be before his State of the Union, which he really wanted. He wanted it done before then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he can go up to the State of the Union and talk and brag how it's all over and talk about how it wasn't real and, you know what he'll do, call it fake news or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if he gets off, man, what is? Because I agree with you. I can't see them convicting him.
No.
What does that mean for our democracy? What does that mean for politics?
Right.
You know, because I think he's putting on display how flawed our government system is.
Definitely.
Like you can, like he's challenging.
He definitely is.
What a president can do with their power, like it's never been seen before.
Right.
So if he gets off, what does that mean? Like I can't wrap my head around it.
Hey, well, to me, it just means the polarization has reached a level that's, I don't know if we can return past the level that we're at right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so polarized that, I mean, people don't care what the other side is doing.
No.
As long as it's their side that they feel like it's winning.
Yeah.
They don't care what the consequences are. They don't care if they're cheating, it doesn't matter anymore, as long as it's a Republican in the office.
Yeah.
You know, Obama is really the consequence of having Obama, unfortunately, as a president. It's not like it started then, but that was the peak. And now it's like an avalanche of what's going on from there.
And I've just seen so many contradictions, right? In our politicians who, like when Obama was in office, they were saying one thing.
Definitely.
And like, especially like the religious community. And like now you have this guy in office and everybody's tune is changing. And it's just a reminder to me that politics is all about self-preservation.
Definitely.
You know, I really look at our political system like it's, at this point, it's people with not a lot of backbone, and again, I don't speak in absolutes, but jockeying for position instead of doing what's right, and it's supposed to be in there to do what's right.
And that's not the way it was designed to work. It was designed that people would do the right thing, hopefully. But you know, human nature is to look at thyself and see where thyself is sitting and try to make their position better, and that's what people are doing. So you know what I mean? I wish that they've been the same for 20 years since Bill Clinton, man, to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They put Bill Clinton under trial for cheating on his wife. And the same people that voted to remove him are voting to not remove this president who, you know what I mean, who committed actual crimes.
Right.
Not just cheating on his wife. You know what I mean? So, and Bill Clinton, like I say all the time, he went under oath. and talked about it. And they caught him in the lie. You know what I mean? And that's what they talking about. Oh, we were impeaching him now. So this dude won't even go on the oath.
Right.
He won't even answer any questions.
I mean,
he won't let the witnesses
challenging
come in.
everything.
Right. So it's disgraceful. The main thing I say is get out and vote.
Yes.
This is the year.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
Watch the candidates. Find your favorite candidate and vote, man.
And your vote does matter.
It
matters.
makes a difference.
And it doesn't hurt you it doesn't hurt you to vote. Regardless if you think it matters or not, it don't hurt you to go in there and check a box and put it in. Like, it's not going to hurt you.
Definitely.
Your vote is your voice.
It's the only way we can have power, man.
This may be old, but I'm saying.
There you go.
A little older, but you know.
Yeah. It's still relevant.
Yeah.
Register to vote. Let's get out there and make a difference, man.
Vote for to have your ballot mailed to you at home.
Yeah, that's what we do.
What I do. Comes right to the crib.
Right.
I do it right from the convenience of my house and I mail it back in.
That's real shit, man.
Definitely.
Well, that's the lean perspective for this week.
I do have a question. What y'all think about this week's meal?
I haven't tried it.
It's good.
Very tasty.
Yeah. This is really good. Will you share this recipe?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
And it was so simple. I was like, what? That's it? Potatoes and cheese?
Potatoes and cheese.
Mashed potatoes and some cheese?
Yeah.
And a tortilla?
You broke. You broke. You can make this happen right here, man.
Yeah.
Shit, I ain't got no money. I ain't got nothing but some potatoes and some tortillas.
I do want to say something too. On Wednesday, at my second job, there was a shooting.
Wow.
I work at Westgate. On my second job, there was a shooting, and I know Dip is heavy with the gun violence, but also pick your battles, man. Don't argue over dumb stuff or dumb shit. Actually,
wasn't it over a parking spot?
It was over a parking spot. Dude got shot multiple times.
Wow.
He died Friday morning.
Wow.
Or Thursday night, Friday morning. What happened on? So just pick your battles, man, and don't be stupid.
That gun, man. You just think you the Almighty Lord. That's why people don't back down out of stuff when they had that gun with them. Yeah. So I'm like, keep them at home.
Yeah. So
keep them at home, man.
Yeah. Senseless murder killing right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I heard some violence happen at a pizza delivery the other day.
Yeah, but check this out.
What happened with that?
Check this out. I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all, man.
We'll talk about that off there, yeah.
All the scenes.
Police was called. It was going down. I was late for work and everything. It was going down.
Man.
But Bossman, give us all your social media. Tell us what $1 Million Teacher Project.
Yep. So you can find us online at www.milliondollarteacherproject.org. On all social media platforms at M as in million, D as in dollar, T as in teacher project at MDT project on all social media platforms. And you can find me on Instagram at AZ Caesar, CAESAR, and Facebook, Atlas Edwards. Holla at me.
Definitely. And once again, we're gonna.
And then so my wife and I, we do the shit somebody should have told us podcast. So we just wrapped up season 2, and that's all about kind of some of these conversations we've been having about unpacking misinformation that we've been given. We kind of talked a little bit about toxic masculinity earlier, and this shooting that you guys are talking about right now, where that's how we can stop letting our pride drive us. Conversations about how we unpack that stuff, and it's a community conversation. So we will be bringing that back next fall.
Okay.
So
definitely make sure we check it out, man.
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate y'all.
Cross said he's gonna pop up. He ain't never did. Where you at, Cross? Mr. Cross, man. Leo.
Shout out to Leo.
Yeah. Once again, shout out to our sponsors, waywardkid.com.
Wayward Kid.
Wayward Kid Foundation.
Take advantage of the class.
Yeah, I did the class right now. They have the editing program.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bring your kids.
Actually,
Keep kids out of trouble.
Yeah. Learn something. Learn
Definitely.
something.
Yeah.
I'm actually learning something.
A marketable skill. You
Mhm.
get out here and make some money off of it.
Definitely, man.
Something that's all right everywhere now. So
Definitely.
computers are everything.
Yep. And Silly Man TV.
Silly man.
Silly Man TV.
Go check them out,
Check
man.
them out.
Funny people.
Online comedy network.
Right.
Created by comedian Chris Mosley. Features comedy skits, original web series, stand-up material, up-and-coming comedians. New episode of Childish Comedy Show.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Facebook page, Silly Man TV.
It's one of my favorite episodes with Chris Mosley too, man. We had a great time with him, man.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Definitely, he's a funny
lot of
motherfucker,
laughs.
Yeah.
So go support support them.
Yeah,
They
man.
Support us.
They definitely
We're all
do.
wrong. We support each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want them to follow you
Follow me to
on
what?
your social media.
Like, follow me to what?
Yeah, you already know, man. They follow me, man.
Yeah. Go follow us, DanYo&Tita podcast.
Yeah, man.
On IG.
Like the page.
Like the Facebook page.
Mhm.
Invite your friends to like the Facebook page, DanYo&Tita podcast.
Support,
And
man.
we went up.
Yeah, man.
We went up like 100 something in last week.
The last week we've been killing, man.
Kobe with the shot, boy.
Man.
Doing good
I don't
work.
know, man. I don't know what's going on, but
Yeah.
we appreciate y'all, man.
Definitely.
You feeding them. You giving them that food, literally and figuratively.
That's real
Also,
shit.
they're not even a sponsor, but it's just a great We Shine out of detailing.
Definitely.
Shout out to them.
Yeah,
they're
man.
great.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
And they followed us on every platform, and we want to make sure that we
we
follow them
Yeah.
on everything, and they share everything. Awesome people. We appreciate you, Rockadops.
Yeah. And
And that car freshener,
oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the shit.
Yeah.
Spray.
Definitely use that after a couple blunts, a couple backwoods.
And,
That came in handy.
It came in handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Just one spraying it in the car one time, it lasted
Mhm.
all week.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Look, see. And then shout out to Miss Joanne Muhammad, our top donator.
We appreciate you.
Yep. It's the DanYo&Tita podcast. We out.
We out.
Holla holla.
Next
No, I appreciate y'all. This is good, man.
Ever.
Like y'all are really like